This is an exciting video because what I want to show you right now is something I just have received that is talking about today's housing market. So get ready. We are in end of November 2025. And so this article is from Keeping Current Matters, at a very reliable data source blog podcast. Follow them very deeply. And here's what they're saying. The housing market is going to turn the corner going into 2026. So what does that look like and why? I'm going to go through this with you, but this is good news for buyers and sellers, realtors, mortgage lenders, you name it, but mainly you, the client, because I can tell you this, there's a combination of things that are happening that are actually very positive for the real estate market, no matter where you live. So let's look at this right here. So I'm going to kind of touch base on this article and give you a little bit about the data points and why that means anything. So what's this saying is here, it's not a surge, it is a shift. And this is going to be one that's going to set the stage for a stronger year in 2026. Now, you know, I listen to a lot of experts, and I really respect a lot of experts in this. And many feel there'll probably be about a 10% increase in transactions in 2026, which I feel like it's pretty accurate because this year will yield somewhere around 4.1, 4.2 million transactions. And they say another 10% on top of that next year because of these factors. So what's driving the comeback? Here are three big trends that are slowly breathing life back into the housing market. And the reason I wanted to make a video on this because this chart is pretty exciting. So first, mortgage rates have been coming down. Rates are always going to have their up and down, but that's just how rates work, especially with the economic uncertainty right now. There's going to be some, vitality, but just know if you really zoom out here, look at this and just glancing at this and realizing where we started in January of 2025, and we're now in November of 2025. So look at what's happened here. The rates were somewhere around 7, a little bit above, between 7.0 and 7.1. And look what they've continued to do. March, April, May, they've continued just to trend down, up and down, up and down. But look what they've done here. They're continuing to go in the right direction if you're a home buyer, right? That's a good thing. Rates are coming down. So they started here somewhere in the sevens, low sevens, and then they're starting to trickle down to here, which we feel like when they start to hit here, it's really going to continue to improve the market. So, and then again, it says right here, in just the last few months, we've seen the best rates of 2025 right in here. Again, this is less than 30 days old when I'm recording this video. So on the median price home, this could allow a home buyer to save thousands of dollars annually compared to earlier this year, showing that affordability is slowly improving. Here's why that matters for you. The shift changes what you can actually afford. It means lower borrowing costs and more buying power for you. So take this as an example. Data from Redfin shows a buyer with a $3,000 monthly budget can now afford another $25,000 more home than you could a year ago. And that's a big deal. And that's one of the reasons why activity is picking up. Number two, more homeowners are ready to sell. Now, for a while, a lot of homeowners stayed put because they didn't want to give up their rate, right? You've heard 3%, 2.5%, you name it. It kind of kept, it was like a lock-in effect, and it kept inventory tight. And while there's still plenty of homeowners that are staying there today, the number of rate-locked homeowners is going to start easing up as rates come down. Life changes, there's always going to be life changes, are a bigger part of what's driving more people to move. I just talked to a buyer last week, job relocation, moving to Kansas. I'm getting some calls from New York. I showed a buyer from California the other day. There was a divorce situation I'm writing a contract for the other day, and then there was death in the family for another seller. So there's always going to be life changes, which is going to create more inventory. That's just in a natural setting. So the data from Realtor.com shows just how much the number of homes for sale has grown. And that's the really interesting part, is that the market is approaching levels we haven't seen for the past 6 years. Look at this. Look at these stats. So look at 2000 and I'm going to call it 18, where there was what? Here you go. 1,304,000 listings, 700 on the market. 7 years later, we're up to 1.1. Just 4 years ago, we were down to half that, 565. So look at what inventory has done. It's trickled up, 752, leveled a little bit at 738. 2024, jump up to 954. And 2025, we're at 1.1 listings. So 1.1 million listings in the nation. So that return to more normal inventory is, honestly, it's a really good thing, because it levels the playing field in the market, which I think we all can agree is a good thing. And it really gives buyers more options than they've had in years. I'm even working with buyers now, and they have more to choose from than they have had, I'm going to call it, in the last 5 years. It's been slim pickings, and still it's not amazing out there, but there's definitely more to choose from. And we're seeing in this market now, we're in Central Florida, where it's slightly shifted in favor of the buyers. I say slightly because sellers are offering more concessions. They're being more willing to flex on their price. They're being some of the builders are willing to buy down the interest rates. The builders, it's a whole nother topic what they're doing, but your typical seller is a little bit more flexible because there's a little bit more inventory in the market. There's more to compete with. So the inventory is growing every year. Let's look at number 3. More buyers are re-entering the market. And it's not just sellers making the moves. So with more options and slightly better affordability, buyers are getting back into the game too. The Mortgage Bankers Association reports purchase applications are up compared to last year, which is a clear signal that demand is building again. Look at this right here. This is just in October and November, okay, compared to last year. This is the number of mortgage applications. You can see last year, this year, last year, this year. So you can see mortgage applications are up because more buyers are entering the market. So, and experts think this momentum will continue. Economists from Fannie Mae, the Mortgage Bankers Association, and the National Association of Realtors all forecast moderate sales growth going into 2026. These are the people that really do the data research. These are the big dogs. And they all say the same thing, moderate sales growth. Again, we're talking about maybe like a 10% influx into the market. So this activity, this recovery, I should say, will not happen overnight. It's not a flood of activity, but it's the start of steady improvement going into 2026. And that's something a lot of people have been waiting for. So what's the bottom line? After several slower than normal years, the market is finally starting to turn a corner. Declining in mortgage rates, more listings, and growing buyer activity with mortgage applications all point to a market gaining real traction. So I hope this video has helped you to get some ideas as far as what the stats are looking like. This is data driven, not an opinion. This is all from data. And of course, I would love to connect with you and talk about your situation if you're looking to buy or sell. Let's connect for a phone call, talk about where you are in the process and how I can make your real estate dreams come true. My name is Brian Stevens, eXp Realty. All my contact information is below. Thanks so much for tuning in. Hope you have a great day.